only one piece of paper.
Yeah.
And, we try to open a bottle with one piece of paper. Yeah, you believe? Okay.
I believe.
Paper is you can transfer some.
I think I'd have say I'd give you €100.
Mate. Yes.
So, it's Giesinger Brau.
So you can only do it with a Giesinger Brau.
You can cut everything the last part.
For over 100 years, the same 6 breweries have been pouring at the world's biggest beer festival, Oktoberfest. But the brewery behind me is looking to change that. Giesinger Brau were the first brewery in over 200 years to open in Munich when they opened in 2006. And their ultimate aim is to break the hold that these big breweries have over this incredible event and pour at Oktoberfest. And let me tell you, the beers that they are making are incredible, and the steps they're going to get onto the Theresienwiese are incredible as well. They've drilled for groundwater 150 meters below. They've ticked every single box, and now they're fighting for their place at the biggest beer festival in the world. This is Giesinger Brau. Before we dig into all that and meet the man who sketched this mad idea out on a napkin in 2006, we get a tour of the state-of-the-art brewery from Nikolai, head of marketing and designer of the brewer's traditional but somehow zeitgeisty brand.
Yes, this is the place where the magic happens. This is where all these 4 ingredients come together, and we can make here 100 hectoliter once. Yeah, we brewing from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. So
so many lager breweries, it's like all action in the brew house, and then the fermentation, the cellaring takes so long.
Yes,
so
yes.
Hurry up and wait.
This building gets ready during the pandemic, so it was a little bit difficult. We're a little bit late for the opening, but this year, 2023, we have our great opening in the summer. So we inviting politicians, all the people, all the crowdfunders. So we are very looking forward to it.
Well, let's go see the tanks where the literal magic, the fermentation, happens with lagering. So you're responsible for all of the design.
Yes.
Here at Giesinger, and this is all your...
Yes.
Like, how many ideas have you had?
It's not complete. I think we have 90 to 100 image motifs.
Yeah.
And yes, this is because we have no money at the beginning, so we can't shoot people or buy buyouts for these models or something else. Mm-hmm. So we decide to have a wall and a table and put a beer on it, and that's it, and write some words on it. So this
you're saying Germany has lots of official days.
Yes.
And that's sort of the inspiration behind a lot of these.
Yes. We have a lot of not Christmas or Easter. Yes, this is normal, but we have a day like it's the day of the woman, the day of the beer, the opposite day, the day of the ladies.
And what's today?
Today is the opposite day.
It's
so
opposite day.
Don't drink this fucking beer today.
It's terrible, I'll tell you.
It's terrible.
And the church that's on the branding is, that's where the original brewery was, right?
Yes, this is where the original brewery was. It was between 2 churches. So this is the Catholic Church, and this is the Evangelic Church, we said here.
This one here, right?
The Protestantic Church, sorry.
Is there a pork knuckle day, or is that every day in Germany?
Yes, nearly. Yeah.
A steel forest of.
That's a steel forest, yes.
Because you're fermenting for 7 days and lagering for 21.
Right.
But some of your beers have like 3 months in tank.
Some of these beers are 3 months in the tank. Yes,
it
depends
like
on the strongest and on the kind of beer. So I think 10 days fermentation, and then 20 to 30 days.
Right. You only have one filtered beer, right?
Yeah.
So you have a small filtration system over there.
We
and
have a
that's-
small filtration
that's it.
system
Everything
over
else
there.
is just naturally settling out in tank.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have only one beer to filtrate. This is we call it Münchner Hell, and
Hitchcock.
yeah. Photobombing by boss. Yes, and we must filtrate it because we want to name it Münchner Hell.
Right. So it's part of like the
Yes.
almost like the geographic protection.
The
that,
geographic
like, the Prosecco
protection,
has.
right, right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you made it, you can make a stamp on the back of the label and call it geschützte geografische Angabe, means the geographic protection label.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And then so, well, we'll talk about the barrels in a minute,
Yeah.
but tell me about the graffiti on all of these tanks.
When we built this building 3 years ago, we thought that these naked tanks don't look good. So we hire, I think, 8 to 10, one of the most popular graffiti artists in Germany. Bring them here, have a DJ set here with DJs, and then spray all these tanks in one day. And yeah, so.
And then, yeah, some of them are deep in the forest now as you've expanded.
Deep in the forest now are the others, and behind this are new tanks, so they will be sprayed as well. Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these will get
Yeah.
these will get some art eventually.
Yes.
And I guess you'll keep expanding right up to.
We can keep expanding right to 80,000 to 100,000 hectoliters, and the new tanks come in through this hole in the ceiling.
James Bond.
The James
villain
Bond,
silo,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, with the helicopters O2. So yes, okay, no.
But while you've got the space, you've got some experiments going.
Yes, these our new experiment. We bought some barrels. We have rum casks and whiskey casks, and I think cognac casks. And I think we have the beer called Innovator. Let it in for, I would say, 2.5 to 3 months, and let's see what happens.
Everything you brew is to the German purity law, and that's still accepted within it.
Yes,
Because I guess it was always aged in oak, just not always with some spirit
yes.
soaked oak,
Yes.
I guess.
You have these 4 ingredients and these other kind of taste you get from the barrel. It's allowed.
So it's allowed.
It's allowed. Yes.
Feels like it shouldn't be, but it is. Should we have a look at the bottling line as well? Because
Yes,
like 95% of your beer is bottled, right?
that's true. Yes.
So you have in Germany, I mean, this might be alien to people in other countries, but you don't recycle the bottles, you literally reuse
Yeah.
all of the bottles that are
Yeah.
filled with beer.
They're 8 cents on each bottle, so you have to go to a refund station and put the bottle back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's quite nice because you can recycle it. I think one beer bottle 10 to 20 times.
So you have to clean hundreds of bottles as well. Like a bottling
Yeah.
line in the UK would just be bottles go in, filled bottles go out. For you, it's
Okay.
dirty bottles
Yes.
go in. Like that's half of the canning machine almost.
This is our bottle washer next to you.
Yeah.
This is
So I can feel heat emanating off.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is the most expensive machine I think on this factory. So
Wow.
on this production. So this
Yeah.
is a lot of energy
Yep.
from that machine. Yeah.
Voll gut. Isn't
Voll
voll
gut.
like slang for being drunk?
Voll is an explanation for being drunk. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, ich
So,
bin voll.
Ich bin voll.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm full.
Right.
So I'm full of beer, but Vollgut means all these. Vollgut means all these bottled boxes.
Right.
As well. It's a double meaning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were saying all of this will basically be clear tomorrow morning. Now.
Yes. Yes.
So it's an incredible amount of boxes and glass, but like
Yeah.
incredible amounts of beer that's being
Yeah. True.
sold by you guys. Like
Yeah.
you're a young company,
Yeah.
you're producing 35,000 hec. was it this
35,000
year?
tax.
And
but
growing. And it's
90% bottles. So we're
And that,
looking.
is that because
Yeah.
like the bigger breweries around, they have the pubs and the draft
They
wines
have this
tied up?
traditional restaurants and
Yeah.
pubs and all these stuff. So they barrel I think 60 to 70% of her beers.
Well, being surrounded by these many bottles only has one influence on me, which is wanting to crack a few. So should we go taste some beers with the founder, Stefan, and ask him about how this incredible place
Let's
came
do
about?
this.
Before we meet Stefan, perhaps a little context is needed. We've done a video about the history of Oktoberfest, but as the Prince of Bavaria explained in last week's episode, until the early 1900s there weren't really any restrictions on who could pour there. In today's world though, there are lots, which is why the same 6 breweries, Paulaner, Hacker-Schorr, Hofbräu, Löwenbräu, Augustiner and Spartan, have been the only ones pouring for over 100 years. Giesinger hope to change that, but it's proven tricky. They need to join a council with the Big Six at great expense, adhere to the Reinheitsgebot, and brew the protected Münchner Heller's Nikolai mentioned earlier. But those are the easy requirements, as I explain, from a tiny little box building in the middle of Giesinger's car park.
So what does it take to pour at Oktoberfest? Well, let's start with the reason why there's only 6 breweries allowed. Now, this happened at the very start of the 20th century, just after the First World War, when the state of Munich couldn't afford to get Oktoberfest running again, and the 6 big breweries of Munich funded it for 2 years. And after that, the people who ran Oktoberfest were very thankful, and it was agreed that only those 6 breweries that did so would be allowed to pour. Obviously, 100 years later, that's a little bit less relevant. But they have put some rules in place as to who can pour. And one of them, the most important one perhaps, is that you have to draw your water from the groundwater under Munich, which is lovely, soft water that's great for making lagers. The stuff that comes out of the tap in Munich is actually very hard and better for dark beer. So that's where I am today. This is actually the key to being able to pour at Oktoberfest. So this is a well that goes over 150 metres into the ground and draws up that beautiful soft water, 10,000 years old, from the earth. And that is the main thing stopping other breweries from pouring at Oktoberfest. Now, this was no small thing to install. If you want to understand how ambitious Giesinger and how serious Giesinger are about pouring at Oktoberfest, know that this cost 800,000 euros to install. And they really didn't need to do that with the modern innovations we have just to adapt water that we can get out of the tap. You know, that was 800,000 pounds purely to allow them to call their Hellers Münchner Hellers and to be able to pour at Oktoberfest.
So as you can hear, it's a rather mad ambition to have. But when you meet Stefan, it starts to make sense.
Oh, God. That was oak. It's actually delicious. Our flight's at 9, Brad.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, 4 hours later.
So, Stefan, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, warm welcome here and Prost. Welcome Munich.
Tell me about the start of Giesinger, because in 2006 it must have been quite crazy to say we'll go up against Paulaner, Augustiner with a Helles.
Yeah, I had no idea from beer before 2005, and I met a brewmaster in Munich town, and we rent a little garage, maybe 20 square meters, not more. And part of Munich is called Giesing. And that's the name comes from a part of Munich. Giesinger. Everywhere you see it's
That's his underpants he was pointing at, just to be clear.
With the camera. Yeah. And that's was the start of a good history. Yeah? And now we are a modern, innovative brewery in a traditional area of Munich beers. Now only 6 breweries in Munich town, and we are the 7th one. And before we come, there's no unfiltered beer. Before 2005, there's no unfiltered beer in the shops or market.
Why did you want to come and make a new brewery in Munich when there hasn't been one for so long?
I have no idea, but if I can show you.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
We drank some beer in 2005, and this is the first notice we had
Mission
on
statement.
bring to paper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our mission to nobody knows.
You were
And
inspired.
to inspired from this
Yeah.
paper, yeah.
Amazing.
And
How much did you drink?
10
before
liter,
you
10
made
liter
this?
beer each. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we drank Augustiner,
Oh.
and this inspiration come from Augustiner beer. Yeah, we don't call it
Divine inspiration.
normalizer.
And why was unfiltered important to you?
Yes, it's very simple. We don't have money for filtration, and we don't have free space for filtration, and so we drank beer directly from
From the tanks.
the tanks and
Zwickel.
yeah, from Zwickel.
Yeah.
And only best before 4 weeks, filled per hand, and because the oxygen in the bottle only best before 4 weeks.
And
So
that-
hard to sell beer with low of rest.
And what did people say when you went to sell a beer that would only last 1 month?
Okay, most people buy beer in the garage, 2006 or 7. It's a very fast drinker,
Right.
and there were no problem
No
for
complaints.
the best before. Yeah. You have to know only 30 to 40,000 hectoliter each year we produce here in this building, and the big 6. The greatest one is Paulaner with 3.5 million, and we are the little one in the city and around. And so we begin 2006 to start our own business, but the other 6 breweries doesn't see us or
They didn't really
speak
notice.
to us or
Right.
notice us, and yeah, we growed up in the next step in greater building like a garage in 2014, and built a restaurant, a pub, and more people come to us and drunk beer, and we grow up in a kind of beers like 10 or more, 12 different beers we produced. Münchner Hell is a filtrate Munich lager, and we brewed it in 2022 the first time.
Oh, so last
Not
year.
before, yeah, here.
Right.
Yeah, because we need that. We need the deep groundwater to produce original Munich Hell.
So to call it Münchner Hell, you had to have the water from...
Calling us the wording of Munich Hell is a wording only for the big 6. And now we have deep water from the ground, and we can call our beer Munich Hell. It's a big step in our history.
So you have a wall over there which says...
Graffiti?
no,
Or
about the
behind.
Weizen.
I can't read it.
Says,
Yeah, what is it?
says
It's-
Auf der Weizen.
Why, it's a Wiesen.
Wiesen, sorry,
Wiesen.
Auf der Wiesen. Why is pouring at Oktoberfest so important to you? Because you've dug
It
the
is
well.
not important.
It's not important?
Nine.
You spent nearly €1 million on a well.
For every people it's important. Yeah, and ask me why it is important. Yeah, it's not important. Yeah, it's okay a little bit important. But we cannot change the history. But now in the future, maybe we can start a new chapter in the area of Oktoberfest beer for Munich town, for beer area, and traditional breweries. And yeah, we have to wait. We don't hurry up. We go step for step in this direction. We feel good, and maybe it happened or not.
You said it's important to other people, so like people who love Giesinger Brau, they want
Every
it to
people
happen.
every people knows or know that Oktoberfest beer is only for Munich breweries.
Yeah.
And now we are a Munich brewery. And that's the right question. But we don't have an answer now. Maybe in the next 10 years or 15, 20 years, there are not more 6 big breweries in the town. Maybe only 4. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But we are here.
You're waiting and
It's
ready.
for my generation, and the next generation is a very good beer project here in Munich.
So we've basically made ourselves a home here. You know, we came at 10:30. It's now dinner time and we're still here. We've drunk through their incredible range of beers, which has been, really highlighted to me that they're kind of in between modernity and the really traditional world that they find themselves in, that they projected themselves in even.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the big 6 will just have one beer which they focus on, and that's kind of what they put all of their effort into. But I think Stefan's approach is like kind of an underdog and an outsider from the Munich scene has allowed him to sort of have a different vision of what a Munich brewery could be.
We tried to sort of tease this out and say, it's crazy in 2006 that they would come out and try and make exactly the same beers that these giant breweries are making. And they've had incredible success still doing it, literally going to the big guy and going, we're going to do this, which Craft never did. It went, we'll make IPAs while you're making lagers. Here at Giesinger, they've gone, you make Helles, we'll make Helles too.
But they started in a garage, which is amazing, and they've had incredible growth over quite a short period. How many years is it? 16 years?
16, yeah.
16 years to get to this size is incredible, right? From starting in a garage.
But it's it's the same beer as everyone else.
But
it's similar recipes, it's the same, that's the joy and the drawback of the Reinheitsgebot means they all have very similar
playing fields.
Inspirations and playing fields, So we're drinking, this was our favourite beer of the day, the unfiltered, and that gives them the edge. It's more full-bodied, it's more grainy. I feel like there's also more hop character or bitterness or something, just more complexity.
Because there are no other unfiltered hell in Munich.
No, I mean none of those big guys would make it really, and that really sets it apart. But it's still, it's still a Helles, it's still 5.3, and they're still going like, well, we want to go to Oktoberfest and compete with you guys, and it's just a wonderfully scrappy, I think is the word.
It's the most polished, scrappy place in the world because it's incredibly beautiful and considered. Everything's considered. Yeah. But I think they were almost like not even seen as a threat by the big dogs. Do you think it's a case of the big 6 resting on their laurels a little bit and getting a little bit complacent on their sort of recipes that have been around for a couple of hundred years that they haven't changed? And they're like, they kind of dismiss anyone that might come out with a different vision.
I think the big 6 haven't rested on their laurels quality-wise with the beer, but I think certainly they've been surprised by how a modern brewery could come up and do this. And it feels like they're always moving the goalposts because Giesinger have been like, they've been like, right, you need to use the Munich groundwater. They've gone, okay, we've done that.
800,000 euros.
800,000
with dig a well.
They're like, you need to join our club. That's 700,000.
700,000 a
year.
year.
Okay, you've paid a year. Okay, you've paid that. Yeah. You need to filter your Helles. Okay, you've done that. And so Giesinger keep being like, yep, next thing. Like, we want to be there. And maybe they're moving the goalposts. I don't know. It's quite a political thing.
Yes.
But it definitely feels like they've been surprised by the success and the ambition of this brewery.
And I feel like it's quite a maybe it's a sort of German trait that they want to support an underdog. They want to see the scrappy little guy do well, right? So this has had a massive groundswell of support with crowdfunding, which this brewery is kind of built on crowdfunding.
Crowdfunding and most of it being in bottle as well. So it's people drinking at home. It's people like literally seeking out, not going, we'll go for dinner. Oh, it's an Augustiner pub. It's a Paulaner pub, which has been, yeah, I mean, to their credit, you know, they've built 95% of their business in that way. So it's definitely an underdog story. And, you know, we got talking about craft beer, and it seems like over here, craft is style-based, you know? Mm-hmm. People think like, oh, an IPA is a craft style, a porter is a craft style. But no, to me, this is exactly what a craft brewery should be doing. It's challenging the norm. It's making absolutely incredible beer.
Yeah.
And, you know, it might be traditional or it might be modern. That's kind of irrelevant, you know? It's the underdog story, and it's the focus on quality, and that's what Giesinger have in spades, and have been amazing.
It's the personality of this guy here and walking behind us.
This guy drinking straight from his barrel. Yeah, genau, as the Germans would say. So yeah, if you do come across any Giesinger beer, do pick it up, because it's absolutely delicious, and hopefully one day we will be picking up the beers at Oktoberfest itself. 2024?
2024.
2024.